Hi, my name is Xiaonian Zhu. I study in Thammasat University. Today I'm going to talk about my study. Teachers code switching when using games. A case of native Chinese teachers in Thai primary Chinese classroom.
I'll give you a brief introduction about this study, which include goals, relevant literature, methodology, results, discussion, and conclusion.
This study is to investigate the factors, functions, and attitudes towards code switching when using games in Chinese classroom. Before research, we have read numbers, relevant literature. For example, in 2000 years, Cook explains the code switching. It is the process of going from one language to other language. In mid-speech, when both speakers know the same language, it often happens in bilingual or multilingual environment. In 2010 years, Guza divided some different functions of code switching in bilingual classrooms, which are clarifying difficult vocabularies, instructing activities, checking students' understanding, translating the meaning of vocabularies, strengthening the teacher-student relationship, and emphasizing key information. Also, Talak Kirik in 2010 years mentioned that games are one of the important components in multilingual classrooms, and they can promote a multitude of aspects of abilities, such as the ability of problem solving, learning the language, thinking, and interacting with others. 44 native Chinese teachers participated in this present study. The questionnaire was made into online questionnaire and we posted it on website, especially on WeChat. Not only did we use quantitative data, but also we used qualitative data in this present study. In 2018 years, Hanban organization explained what is CET. It is a kind of English test. In this present study, about 48% participants they didn't achieve CET level 4. This project indicates only 11% participants thought their Thai speaking is advanced. We can see from this table, most participants' students' Chinese proficiency is at beginner and intermediate level. About 39% participants taught Chinese over 4 times in a month. Most participants' one Chinese class lasted 1 hour. According to this column chart, we can know about 32% participants used 2 times games in a month, and more than half participants used games. One game lasted about 5 to 10 minutes. Moreover, over 50% participants used Thai and Chinese in their Chinese classroom when using games.
There are 4 main reasons responded by 44 Chinese teachers. The first main reason for teachers code switching is students' Chinese proficiency is not sufficient to understand game rules. The second main reason is teachers can instruct the task more quickly. The third main reason is students are not familiar with the games. And the fourth main reason is students can understand teachers' emotions when English or Thai is used. As well as the reasons, there are 4 main functions responded by teachers. The first function for teachers code switching is to help students understand the game rules. The second main function is to encourage students' game participation. The third main function is to lower students' anxiety in Chinese classroom. The fourth function is to help teacher to better clarify game rules. After getting data, we can know 22 participants responded that they supported to use code switching, whatever Thai or English or both, in their Chinese classrooms. They emphasized that the purpose of code switching was to help students learn Chinese well, and they also added the use of code switching had to suit students' Chinese proficiency because different students have different Chinese proficiency level. We have to, according to different students' Chinese proficiency, to use the Chinese, English, or Thai. However, one participant said she did not support using Thai or English in her Chinese classroom because she thought code switching could not help students learn Chinese well. About appropriate frequency of code switching in Chinese classrooms, 16 participants feel that Thai or English should be used occasionally. They worried that students could not learn Chinese better if teachers used Thai or English too much. Moreover, one of them gave an accurate recommendation, that is, teachers should use 30% Thai or English and 70% Chinese to teach students at the introduction of new content. After that, teachers should try to speak more Chinese. What's more, teachers should use pictures and body language to reduce code switching. Here we go, the discussion part. In this present study, most of participants say their Thai is at the beginner level, but the majority of them used Chinese and Thai most frequently. The goal of native Chinese teachers is to teach Thai students to learn Chinese well, but most Thai primary students' Chinese proficiency is at the beginner level. They are difficult to understand the native Chinese teachers' Chinese speaking entirely. So, even though teachers' Thai proficiency is at beginner level, they have to try to use more Thai to help Thai students understand the teaching content or game rules. Most Chinese teachers in the present study revealed that they used code switching because of students' poor Chinese proficiency. As they responded, most students' Chinese proficiency was at beginner level, so their Chinese proficiency is not sufficient to fully understand the teacher's Chinese if teachers used only Chinese when using games. Their reason for code switching is consistent with their most used purpose of code switching, which was to help students to understand game rules or how to play. It is Lanwei's Dirige Obis study in 2015 years, which showed that their 57 EFL teachers said that they used code switching because they want to improve weak students' comprehension. So, the second main factor of code switching found this study was for teachers to instruct or explain tasks more quickly. As reported by the participants, the duration of games is a small part of the entire duration of Chinese class. Most participants indicated that they taught Chinese 4 times in a month, and one class normally lasted for 1 hour. The majority of them used games in twice each classroom and mostly lasted 5 to 10 minutes. Therefore, teachers instruct or explain tasks quickly can save time when using games. This finding is consistent with years of science study. In 2010 years, in which teachers used code switching because they could help teachers instruct tasks quicker. After analyzing the data and the results, we get the following conclusion. The first is native Chinese teachers in the present study revealed that they used code switching during game time because of students' insufficient Chinese proficiency, limited time, and students unfamiliar with games. Secondly, the main function of their code switching when using games, well, to help students understand the game rules, to encourage students' participation, and to lower students' anxiety in the classroom. The third one is the study found most teachers held a positive attitude towards code switching, as they found code switching to be a useful technique for teaching and learning in language classrooms. The last but not least, teachers' code switching should fit students' language proficiency and to be minimized to ensure students can be more exposed to Chinese.